Tropical cyclone warnings and watches are two levels of alert issued by national weather forecasting bodies to coastal areas threatened by the imminent approach of a tropical cyclone of tropical storm or hurricane intensity. They are notices to the local population and civil authorities to make appropriate preparation for the cyclone, including evacuation of vulnerable areas where necessary. It is important that interests throughout the area of an alert make preparations to protect life and property, and do not disregard it on the strength of the detailed forecast track. Tropical cyclones are not points, and forecasting their track remains an uncertain science. Western Hemisphere. In conjunction with the National Hurricane Center, the National Meteorological and Hydrological Services of Central America and the Northern Atlantic Ocean, excluding mainland Africa and Europe, all issue tropical storm hurricane watches and warnings. Tropical storm watches are issued when gale and storm force winds of between 34–63 knots are possible, within 48 hours in a specified area in association with a tropical, subtropical or post-tropical cyclone. These watches are upgraded to tropical storm warnings, when gale and storm force winds become expected to occur somewhere in the warning area within 36 hours. Hurricane watches are issued when sustained winds of 64 knots are possible, within 48 hours in a specified area in association with a tropical, subtropical or post-tropical cyclone. These warnings are upgraded to hurricane warnings, when hurricane force winds become expected to occur somewhere in the warning area within 36 hours. Because hurricane preparedness activities become difficult once winds reach tropical storm force, the hurricane watch and warnings are issued in advance of the anticipated onset of tropical storm force winds, rather than in advance of the anticipated onset of hurricane force winds. At times a tropical storm warning and a hurricane watch can both be in effect due to uncertainties in the forecast. These watches and warnings are also issued by the Central Pacific Hurricane Center for the Hawaiian Islands and the Weather Forecast Office in Guam for parts of Micronesia but not for American Samoa due to an international agreement. Within the United States an extreme wind warning is issued by the National Weather Service for any land areas that are expected to be impacted by a Category 3 or higher hurricane and by sustained surface winds greater than or equal to 100 knots. All landfalling hurricane is expected to bring winds of 100 knots to a specific location. The warning is issued just prior to when the strongest winds of the eye wall are expected to impact an area. The warning is to be issued for the smallest area possible, and be valid for times of 2 hours or less. It was developed in response to confusion resulting from the landfall of Hurricane Katrina. NWS offices in Jackson and New Orleans Baton Rouge issued 11 tornado warnings for areas that would not experience an actual tornado, but would experience extreme wind speeds commonly associated with tornadoes. The extreme wind warning is now expected to be used in these situations. West Pacific Systems China A two-stage warning system was long established in China for tropical cyclones of tropical storm intensity of above. Nowadays, the use of this system is restricted to coastal waters only. Thus, warnings may be discontinued even if a cyclone is maintaining tropical storm intensity inland. Color-coded alerts may be in effect independently of any two-stage warnings. Warning: winds may reach Beaufort Force 8 or rainstorm may occur in 48 hours. Urgent warning: winds may reach Beaufort Force 8 or rainstorm may occur in 24 hours. Guangdong introduced a color-coded tropical cyclone warning system for land use in 2000. White alert: a tropical cyclone may affect the area in 48 hours. Green alert: winds may reach Beaufort Force 6 in 24 hours or winds of Beaufort Force 6 to 7 are already blowing. Yellow alert: winds may reach Beaufort Force 8 in 12 hours or winds of Beaufort Force 8 to 9 are already blowing. Red alert: winds may reach Beaufort Force 10 in 12 hours or winds of Beaufort Force 10 to 11 are already blowing. Black alert: winds may reach Beaufort Forces 12 in 12 hours or winds of Beaufort Forces 12 are already blowing. Similar systems were developed in Fujian and Shanghai. Later, China Meteorological Administration standardized the system for national use. This set is part of a larger warning system that covers other forms of severe weather conditions, such as extreme temperature, torrential rainfall, drought, etc. Guangdong maintained a white alert as in the old system. Blue alert, winds may reach Beaufort force 6 in 24 hours or winds of Beaufort force 6 to 7 are already blowing. Yellow alert, winds may reach Beaufort force 8 in 24 hours or winds of Beaufort force 8 to 9 are already blowing. Orange alert, winds may reach Beaufort force 10 in 12 hours or winds of Beaufort force 10 to 11 are already blowing. Red alert, winds may reach Beaufort forces 12 in 6 hours or winds of Beaufort forces 12 are already blowing. Hong Kong and Macau equals. The Pearl River Delta uses a variety of warning systems to inform the public regarding the risks of tropical cyclones to the area. The Hong Kong Observatory issues typhoon signals to indicate the existence and approximate location of a tropical cyclone from Hong Kong. The Macau Meteorological and Geophysical Bureau in Macau uses a similar system. Japan equals. The Japan Meteorological Agency is the government agency responsible for gathering and providing results for the public in Japan, that are obtained from data based on daily scientific observation and research into natural phenomena in the fields of meteorology, hydrology, seismology and volcanology, among other related scientific fields. Its headquarters is located in Tokyo. JMA is also designated one of the regional specialized meteorological centers of the World Meteorological Organization. It has the responsibility for weather forecasting, tropical cyclone naming and distribution of warnings for tropical cyclones in the northwestern Pacific region. Philippines equals, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration releases tropical cyclone warnings in the form of public storm warning signals. An area having a storm signal may be under PSWS number 1, tropical cyclone winds of 30–61 km per hour are expected within the next 36 hours. PSWS number 2, tropical cyclone winds of 61–120 km per hour are expected within the next 24 hours. PSWS number 3, tropical cyclone winds of 121–170 km per hour are expected within the next 18 hours. PSWS number 4, tropical cyclone winds of 171–220 km per hour are expected within 12 hours. PSWS number 5, tropical cyclone winds greater than 220 km per hour are expected within 12 hours. These storm signals are usually heightened when an area is about to be hit by a tropical cyclone. Thus, as a tropical cyclone gains strength and/or gets closer to an area having a storm signal, it may be heightened to another higher signal in that particular area. Whereas, as a tropical cyclone weakens and/or gets further away from an area, it may be downgraded to a lower signal or may be lifted. South Pacific Basin, the Australian Bureau of Meteorology will issue a cyclone watch for a specified part of Australia, when a tropical cyclone is expected to cause gale-force winds in excess of 62 km per hour within 24 to 48 hours and subsequently make landfall. A cyclone warning is subsequently issued for a specified part of Australia when a tropical cyclone is expected to cause or is causing gale-force winds in excess of 62 km per hour within 24 hours and is subsequently expected to make landfall. The Fiji Meteorological Service issues a tropical cyclone alert for the Cook Islands, Fiji, Kiribati, Nauru, Niue, Tokelau, Tonga and Tuvalu, when a tropical cyclone has a significant probability of causing gale-force winds or stronger winds within 24 to 48 hours. Gale, storm and hurricane-force wind warnings are subsequently issued for the above areas by FMS, when a tropical cyclone is either causing or expected to cause either gale storm or hurricane-force winds within 24 hours. MAR Copyright TAR Copyright O France is responsible for the issuance of tropical cyclone watches and warnings for New Caledonia, Wallis and Futuna, French Polynesia and the Pitcairn Islands. The National Meteorological and Hydrological Services of the Solomon Islands, Samoa, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Timor-Leste and American Samoa are responsible for their own watches and warnings. Indian Ocean Systems, the India Meteorological Department is responsible for tracking tropical cyclones within the North Indian Ocean. MA copyright TAR copyright O France and RA Copyright Union is responsible for the issuing advisories and tracking of tropical cyclones in the southwest part of the basin. However, the naming of systems is deferred to the Mauritius and Madagascar Weather Services. Military advisories Tropical cyclone condition of readiness The United States Department of Defense uses a multi-stage system called the Tropical Cyclone Condition of Readiness, otherwise known as the Hurricane Condition of Readiness, to prepare bases and evacuate assets and personnel in advance of adverse weather associated with tropical cyclones. TCCORs are recommended by weather facilities either on base or by central sites like the National Hurricane Center or the Joint Typhoon Warning Center and are generally related to the timing and potential for destructive sustained wind speeds of above 50 kn. Recommendations are then considered by base or area commanders along with other subjective factors for setting the TCCORs like assets, holidays or the base's experience in emergency preparedness. The bases prefer to set these TCCORs sequentially, from TCCOR 5 with destructive winds expected within 96 hours, through TCCOR 4, 3, 2 and if needed to a series of 4 different TCCOR 1 conditions. However, depending on the cyclone's movement or location, some of these signals can be skipped. After a system passes and stops affecting the base, the authorities can decide to revert to the seasonal TCCOR or stay in a heightened approach as another tropical cyclone is approaching. See also Gale warning, HERCON, typhoon a mobile application used to provide information about typhoons in the Philippines. Severe weather terminology, small craft advisory, storm warning, tropical cyclone. References. External links, NHC, Watches and Warnings.